Hello and welcome. We're glad that you decided to try out for Muskoka Elite's second season for 2020-2021. If you took a look at the video on our homepage, you'll see that we have a few protocols in place, a three-phase plan to return to training for cheerleading this year due to COVID-19, and we are moving our tryouts to an online format. So here's a quick overview of what you need to know about online tryouts this year and what you can expect from our season. Getting started, if you would like to register for online tryouts, you can do that on our website, muskokaelite.com. Click on the register page and just simply register for the appropriate age category for your tryout. Once that's done, we're going to ask you to record a video. The video needs to be very simple, nothing crazy, doesn't need to be edited, and it needs to be 3 minutes or less. And in this video, we would like to see what your bridge looks like. You might call it a back bend. We're going to hold that for 10 seconds. We want to see a handstand, and this is with your belly to the wall. We're going to hold that for 20 seconds. We'd like to see your right, your left, and your center splits. We're going to hold each of those for 10 seconds. We'd like to see 10 push-ups and 10 sit-ups. And we'd also like to see a forward roll. Some of you might call it a somersault. We'd like to see a cartwheel on your good leg. We'd also like to see a back walkover and a front walkover if you're able to do it. Now, a couple of things. We want you to make sure that when you're executing some of these tumbling skills, you take the time to warm up and stretch adequately before you do them. We only want to see the skills that you are capable of doing. So if you can't do a cartwheel, or if you can't do a front and back walkover, that's okay. You don't need to show us those skills. We just want you to show us the skills that you can do, okay? So let's make sure that we're being safe and that we're choosing a nice soft area to do these on, and that there's lots of space to do it in so we're not hitting anything while we do some of these skills. Once you've got that compiled into a video, you're going to take that video and you're going to submit it through our website. There's a form on this page of the website that you can submit it in. And what we need you to do is upload that video to either YouTube, Vimeo, Google Drive, or to Dropbox. And then you're simply going to submit a link to that video through the form that's on this page. Very easy to do. Just make sure that when you upload that video to whatever platform you choose, make sure that the sharing permissions are set so that it's accessible to the public. Okay? And once you've submitted that video link, you're done. We're going to take it from there. The submission deadline for that video is June the 8th at midnight. Our coaches will review all of the videos that come through, and we will select our teams based on the videos that we receive. And then we're going to post team rosters for Season 2 on June the 12th. And those will be available on our website by noon midday, okay? Once those teams have been selected, we're going to begin with some online virtual training to get started. And that will start as quickly as the week of June the 15th. And most of our training will remain virtual until we're given the go-ahead to do some outdoor training. Our outdoor training will involve some physical distancing protocols, and we'll be working on mostly individual skills, like jumps, a little bit of tumbling, strength and conditioning, that sort of thing. We'll also take the opportunity to do some team bonding through the summertime as well, which will be some additional activities. And those things will be optional. You can attend those if you'd like to. And that is mostly what our summer training will look like. It will be either online and virtual, or it will be outdoors with strict physical distancing protocols in place, and only when government regulations allow. Once we move into our regular season, which is September, we will continue our once-a-week online training for 1 hour, and we will add an additional in-person practice, which, depending on which team you're on, will be a different day of the week and will involve a certain number of training hours. So every team will have essentially 2 practices. One will be in person, as soon as government regulations allow, and one will be online and virtual. So if you're coming in from a little bit further out of town, this year you will only have to come into Bracebridge once a week. Your other practice will be online virtual. There's a couple of fees that you want to be aware of. We will collect an enrollment fee on June the 28th, which is $75. That includes 2 pieces of practice gear, a t-shirt and a bow, and then the rest essentially covers the cost of training through the summertime, all of your virtual training, all of your outdoor activities, any additional activities that we cover. It's all covered in that $75, and that's going to take you through the summertime. Then we will have a commitment fee that'll be due on August the 28th, which is to be determined at this point, and our tuition will start in September and will be due on the 28th of each month from September until April, depending on which team you're on. And again, those tuition rates are to be determined at this point. We had planned to have all of these details locked down and published in our program handbook, which will be available on our website in the coming weeks. So make sure you take a look for that. We've published all of this upfront information so that we can kind of get the ball rolling on the season. But all of the firm details about cost, commitments, practice times, all of that sort of stuff will be published in our handbook in the coming weeks. So make sure that you take a look at that. Our competition fees will not be included in our program fees this year because we're going to choose our competitions kind of as we go based on what becomes available. And so those fees for your competitions will be invoiced as we go through the year. And so they're not reflected in our initial enrollment and commitment fees. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at the information that's contained on this page. The program handbook will be published in the coming weeks, and it'll be available on this page as well. There's also a section at the bottom of this page which is called Post-COVID Affordability Plan. So one of the considerations that is a serious one this year is that many families in Muskoka specifically are going to be hit pretty hard financially due to what's happened with COVID-19. And so it's very important to us that we structure our program this year in a way that allows as many families as possible to access the program. And so we've put a few initiatives in place designed specifically to keep our costs and our commitments low. And so it's very accessible to families around the region. Our reduced practice times are going to result in reduced tuition, which we hope will help with certain families. Doing partially virtual training will help with commute times to Bracebridge. Like I mentioned earlier, instead of coming in twice a week, we only have to come in once a week. We are going to attend fewer competitions next year, and so the cost of the competitions, as well as spectator tickets and possible hotels and travel down to the city, that will be reduced for the coming season. We are looking at lower fixed team costs, so not spending as much money on choreography and possibly reusing our music for next year. We're going to go with simple practice gear that's very affordable, and there will be fewer pieces included, so that brings down your enrollment fee. We're looking at end of month billing in case there's any interruptions in our scheduled training. Heaven forbid we run into a second wave of this virus. It's possible that we'll be off for a few weeks in the fall, so we're going to do end of month billing so that we can adjust billing appropriately in case we have to take time off of training. And also our uniform and jacket cycle is going to be pushed out one additional year. So instead of that jacket cycle ending in 2022, it's now going to end in 2023. What this means is if you purchased a uniform last year, you're going to get 4 years total out of your uniform and jacket. If you are new to the program and you just joined this year, you'll get a full 3 years out of your uniform and jacket rather than only 2. So that will extend the value of the jacket and the uniform that you purchase, and you'll be able to spread that costs out across 3 years rather than across 2 years. So those are just a few of the things that we're doing to make sure that our program is accessible, affordable to Muskoka residents. And that's very important to us going forward because getting kids back involved with sport and with activities where they can make friends and they can see their friends, I think is very, very important. And so we want as many families to have that opportunity as possible. If you have any questions about how to try out for our program, what the program costs and commitments will be, or any questions regarding our affordability plan, please make sure you get in touch with me. I'm available by email, tony@muskokaelite.com. You can also send us a message through our Facebook page. If you want to call me directly, the number is 705-706-1045. Thanks very much. We look forward to seeing everybody in our coming season. Thanks very much.